What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining TK On Demand. I'm Taylor Knight, and today we'll be interviewing first-time filmmaker Ayodeji Atuelo. He is a first-time filmmaker for the film Unsaid, and let me just say, it is breaking barriers. It is just making its mark in the film industry. So today we're going to be able to speak with him, learn about his journey as a first-time filmmaker, and just get the scoop of what it means for him to receive this recognition and to have his film out there in the world. So while we wait for him to join us, I just want everyone to know we are always having an open conversation here. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, tips, just anything, please drop it in our comment box below. And our guest is here. We have a few other people joining us. Hey. All right, let's send him a request and get the show going. All right. Again, guys, feel free to share love in the comments, questions, anything that comes to your mind, drop it right here. Hello.
Hello, TK. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well.
Thank you for joining me. Fix my camera real quick. That always happens. The forehead gets cut off, and then it's like, oh, and the camera starts to shake.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Of course. It's such a pleasure to speak with you. I was so excited that you're able to fit us in your schedule. So I was like, yes. So tell us the mission, the story behind Unsaid.
Unsaid actually started from my first book, What's in My Head, which was centered around different emotions that I felt when I was growing up in Nigeria. I kind of like just write them down as poem. I don't really share them until I moved to New York, where I gain my confidence to share my poem. And then I published my book during the pandemic. Then I realized that personally, I'm a very visual person, and I took a little bit of like film classes when I was in school, but I wasn't confident enough to want to dive into filmmaking. Then luckily for me, I met a very amazing woman, Ashley Ashton, and I told her about my plans. Like, I really want to talk about things that I felt like are not really talked about. And I even talk about them in my book, but I wish more something on the screen to show more emotions, to really put people through the journey of how some things really feel from my own lens. And things like molestation in boys. People don't talk about things like that. When you hear the word molestation, the first thing that came to mind is this innocent, vulnerable young girl and some older, wicked man. But people don't think about some vulnerable young boy, yes, who has been molested by another woman or by a man. So I have a poem called Whisperer, and I remember after publishing my book, a lot of people reached out to me telling me, oh my God, it's like you documented my experience. And I'm like, So most of the time in our feelings, we thought we are alone, but we are not.
No.
Yeah. So I'm like, I really want to shoot a film that talk about all these things. And also moving to New York, I started seeing myself differently as a black man, as a black person. And I feel like there's no, celebrating your blackness is never going to be enough.
Nope.
Yeah.
Never.
And yes. And I met this really beautiful young girl, Harlem. Is like one of the stars on one of my film. And she was 13 at that time. And she told me her experience being in an all-white school. She doesn't feel enough. She feel very, her esteem was so low, but she's a very, very brilliant, beautiful girl. So I told her, you know what, I'm planning to shoot some visuals for my poetry and heritage that talks about being black, my hair, my skin, my lip, my nose. I would like you to be the star of it. And she was like, really? She said, yeah. So I talked to Ashley. Ashley and I together, we were like fire. And with my little budget, we started working. And before we know what is going on, we had a whole production. There was hair, there was makeup,
Nice.
the videographer, there's wardrobe. We're getting clothes from different designers in London, in the US, in Canada. It's like, okay, it's suddenly so surreal. And then we shot Heritage, which was really beautiful. And after shooting Heritage, which was around 2020 to early 2021, when Black Lives Matter was kind of like really going on in New York and everywhere in the US. And then I told Ashley that I felt like this is not enough, that there are so many things that I want to talk about. And Heritage by itself is like 5 minute video, so we need something much more to just round it all the emotions up.
Coming together.
And she asked me, what do you really want to talk about? I'm like, I want to talk about emotions that people don't talk about, like being black. Being black every day is not like, it's not the easiest.
No.
Molestation, sexuality, gender, overall being different. So I picked 5 poems in my book: Cursed Child, Heritage, A Woman's Religion, Ungodly Feeling, and Whisperer. So together with Ashley and beautiful, beautiful people that I met in my life, that I have, and we shot in California, in New York, upstate, in the city, everywhere, and then we put Unsaid together.
Wow, you can just see the passion again, and like the way you're just telling me the whole process. You can see, like, you can talk about it for days, because like the start to finish of it. I'm sure. Oh, I feel like it's a very big challenge for someone to take something that's on words and making it into a visual project. Yes. And I got a sneak peek of it. And I was just like, wow, like watching the visuals, watching all the different dynamics of it come together, the beauty of it. Ashley, yes, very gorgeous girl. I was like, wow, look at her. So I can see, like, I'm sure when you saw that final product of it, it was like breathtaking to see your work come to life.
It's so different because Ashley and I, we're always having meetings. We're watching it on computer. I think one time we watched it on TV in my apartment, and it feels like we've seen it all. So we had a private preview at Soho House a few weeks ago with the help of GBGMC and Two-Way Productions, and seeing it on that big screen and having a lot of people to watch it with you, it was like, oh my God, we did something.
Some tears started bubbling up, like, hold on.
Yeah, and I think the best part for me was when we started Q&A and you get the review from people, and you look back when the film was screening and you were seeing tears in people's eyes, and it's like, oh my God, finally people actually could relate with what I'm talking about, what we have put so much hard work into for the past like 2 years, even though it's just 18 minutes video, but
it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time, it takes work. But before we go any further, congratulations on your nominations and your official selections.
Thank you.
I'm sure that feels amazing as a first-time filmmaker to receive that recognition.
Yeah, it felt like being seen.
Yes.
When you've spent so much of your life hiding things or trying to be normal, and then finally you decided to do the total abnormal thing, and you're like, you know what, when this comes out, my head is just going to be on the table. But
embracing it.
But then it came out, and we got all this nomination, we got all this award. No matter how minuscule it is, no matter how small, how big, but you just finally feel like, whoa, I felt seen. And it's put all the hard work of everybody's hard work, and they believe in the project. It's just kind of like, boom, stamp it, like, yes, we did it, we did something. Yeah.
So I know now that you're still in the first beginning of your film now, receiving the recognition from it. It's only been a few weeks since it's been out and released.
Yes.
So how did you know that you had gold in your hands when you had your finished product? Like, all right, this is what I want to present to the world. When did you know? What was that feeling?
Honestly, I think I knew I did when I spoke with Ashley and she said, yes, let's do it. When a black woman tells you, let's roll on, trust me.
How it goes.
It's not just for anything. With no pay, nothing. It's just like, you know what, we have this small budget, let's do this. And she was ready to give up everything and just jump on the project. I knew there is definitely a substance in it. But after everything was done, and I have people like Harlem telling me how much our confidence, not even her parents called me, that, oh my God, our confidence changed. She carries herself differently now. And, I have people who are on set, not on set, who have seen the film telling me, oh my God, what you did was amazing. And I was like, this is something that will go on for a very, very long time.
Just to start.
And then I have people now going like, oh, I want to screen the film. Can we screen the film? Can we screen the film? I'm like, okay, there's definitely, you know, this is a gold, this is a gold mine, and I'm just.
I think you're muted. Okay, no, it just came back in.
Oh, okay. Overall, just the feedback and seeing how people relate with it, seeing how the kind of emotion it ignites in people.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah. That's when I'm like, okay. This we are actually talking about something here. You know.
Yes. And I'm sure that fire now is in you. Like, of course, it was before when you started the project, but now, like, seeing this fire build up even more, seeing like your voice, people understand your story, people relate to your story, and getting that recognition, I'm sure just pushes you to want to do more and get your story out there even further.
Yes. 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 Oh yes. Oh yes. You know that that's the problem. You know, our wants is never. There's no satisfaction to it. It's insatiable. So so now after doing it on set, it's like, okay, what's the next thing? Already people are already asking me, oh, what's the next work? What should we be
That's what I'm going to
expecting?
ask next.
Yeah, what should we be expecting? Even some people are telling me some of the footages in on set, like, why didn't you just take out this poem and build on it? I feel like there's more story. I'm like, guys, I just exhausted my savings on this. So, can we just calm down? But then I know I'm not really ready to calm down either. We're already working on my next project. We're already trying to we're already working on doing the trailer for the next project first, because you know about things you learn on the job itself as a first time filmmaker. This time it was totally passion. We just want to dive into it and do something. But we've learned from Unsaid now, and we are trying to now use what we've learned to create our next magic.
Yes.
Let me put it that way.
So when did you know you wanted to be a filmmaker? Like what was more, you're like, you know what? I think I want to go ahead and make this into a film. I know you said you and Ashley kind of talked about it, but when did you realize I'm going to put my filmmaker hat on now? This is another title added on to everything else I do.
I've always wanted to be a filmmaker, honestly, when I was younger back in Nigeria. But I was not in the right space
Mm-hmm.
to even think or dream of doing that. Like my best friend always said, oh, you know, one thing that connected us together like 20 years ago was my ability to just lie about stories that was never real. And he'd be so we'll be in school and I'll tell him, oh, I watched this film yesterday. And I'll narrate the story to him and he will ask me what's the title. And I'm like, I can't remember the title. And he goes back home looking for this film. I really want to see this fantastic film. Then later, I'm like, Deji, I think you've been lying about all these films. And I'm like, oh, you don't want to see my notes? They're like, oh my God, you should do filming or go into filming or filmmaking. But how can I explain to my parent that I want to be a filmmaker? Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, to a Nigerian parent, no. You have options, very, very little. Doctor,
Yes.
engineer, lawyer, professional. If they're
Yes.
not doing anything in that line, just forget it. They are not wasting their money. So so I couldn't think of doing that. I couldn't even think of right. It was amazing yesterday. My younger sister sent me a message saying, "Oh, you remember those days I have to hide my books from you because once you see them, you're just gonna start scribbling poetry on it." And I'm like, "Yes, that's true. It has always been there, but I couldn't act on it until I moved to the US." So
Yes.
coming to the US is kind of like one of my success story because I was able to explore things that I really want to do. So it's like I've always known I want to be a filmmaker. I just don't know how to go about it. And I was
Mm-hmm.
not in the right space before until now. So now I'm in like in a better space. I have more, I'm older, so I have more or ways and opportunities to go about it. And then with the help of people around me, it have just been, seamless and easier to do. And then there's a lot of mentor, a lot of people that you could look on up to, people like Shonda Rhimes and the likes,
Mm-hmm.
like easily just tap into their own energy, their story to, you know, go back to yourself and see what you really want to talk about.
And it's interesting that this passion that you always had deep down in you, you try to like maybe kind of avoid it a little bit, try to push it, like, I don't know how to pursue it, so I'm not going to. And then all of a sudden, 20 years later, it's here. It's here, like,
Yes.
you're not going to get rid of me. I'm here.
Yeah.
And we're here to stay as well.
Right.
So it's
Thank you.
beautiful to see that come together. And again, it's only just the start of your filmmaking career.
It is. It is.
Yes.
I'm very, very sure it's just the start. Like you, I think we're gonna be doing this more often when the new.
Just let me know. I'll be ready for the next one. If you need me live and in person, I got you.
Yeah, and I would definitely invite you when we have our premiere
Yes.
in near you. We are premiering in different places. I'm super excited. We have a Wicked Queer Film Festival coming up in Boston, and it's like, oh, and yeah, it's gonna be a premiere, and it's gonna be on April 16th. So me and the crew, we are all like, we're riding to Boston, and we're just gonna go have fun and just watch it. And it's screening in different places in Paris,
Wow.
film festival in Italy, in California, in New York, and we've got I'm just excited that finally what we did, that we're not sure of how many people are going to see it. Now people are going to see it in different places.
And that's amazing, again, for your first film, that you're getting it to um be shared such on a wide perspective, like not just here in New York. If you're going to Boston, like Paris, Italy, like you are making sure it's being pushed out as far out as it can be to connect with as many people as possible. So
Yes,
commend
yes.
you for that.
Thank you.
So what would you say is the most challenging thing with being a first-time filmmaker?
Whoa, like, oh, many
The list goes on.
many things was challenging because I don't know. I won't say I don't know. I don't know people. I know people, at the end of the day, but maybe I just don't know people that are in that kind of like line. And then trying to raise money and trying to convince people like, oh, this is a project you should be part of, you should be part of it. It was just really, and then for someone like me who my sense of pride is a little bit like, it's hard for me to ask for help. But it's like, you know what, we gotta get this done. This is work. I don't care what I'm going to ask for help to do this, as long as you can. Because for me, first of all, passion matters. If you're not passionate about what we are doing, there's really no point. But to convince people to be passionate about it, it was really, really hard. And then to now raise money also to get it done, that was hard. But then it became harder after we're done with production. Post-production became, and it's like, oh my God. And the crazy part is I'm just a creative person. The business part, maybe a little because of my Nigerian mentality. But, but every other thing, post-production, distribution, it's like, holy shit, how am I going to do this? I don't even know anymore. And, then it's like, you have an option. You can spend all your money and time making a film, and then when the film is done, you just leave it in your closet. Or you spend the time and money making the film, and you keep spending the money also to get it out. So it's just been challenging raising money and, trying to find ways to just push it out. But so far, it's been, everything has been going, at its own pace, but it's moving. So that's everything I check for myself every day. Is there a change? Yeah, okay, there's a change. Good. So, yeah.
Exactly. As long as you're growing, whether it's super fast or super slow, as long as you're moving up,
there's a growth. Yes.
That's all that matters. Because eventually, it's going to come to the full, product or goal that you are hoping for. So.
Yes.
And what is some advice you could give to other first-time filmmakers who want to create their first film but don't know where to start, like have no idea what to do, like, I had this great idea, but where do I begin?
Honestly, you just have to start from somewhere. Just one of my greatest mantras has always been just do it. The things we are hiding are actually what the world wants to see. We're in a world now where what makes you different is actually what is beautiful. So if you think you have it in you, or you have it in you, just do it. You would be. I always tell people, first of all, look within you, because most of the time we are trying to look into we're trying to shoot our arrow afar. Oh, how can I get into HBO or Amazon or Netflix? But first of all, you don't even realize that you have 10 friends that you could just screen for first, and you just start, look within you. That's where I started from. Everybody around me, they all came together, and with their connection of okay, I know A, I know B, I know C. We have ABC. Then A know X and B know Y. Then we have ABC, X, Y. So we kind of but I started within. So, but trying to shoot very, very high, sometimes we get lost in that kind of But when we just look within and we have that passion to just do it no matter what comes our way, I'm one kind of person, when I want to do something, even my mother knows in her grave, nothing is stopping it until it is done. So once you have that kind of like, I want to do it, you believe in what you're doing so much, no one can change your mind.
No.
And, swallow your pride, knock on all the doors you need to knock on, DM whoever you have to DM. They don't need to respond, but DM them until when one person will respond. So just do it.
I can totally agree to that. I'm a person, if I want to get to some goal, I'm going to get there. I'm going to fight and push. I'm going to DM people. Even if they don't respond, I'm like, oh, all right, I tried.
Yes.
You're not doing yourself. You're doing yourself a service by just pushing and trying to reach your goal. Well, versus like, oh, just wishing and hoping, oh, I wish I could be this person. Well, try. Make the effort. Take the initiative. Put your pride aside, like you said, because a lot of people who get to success, they put their pride aside to get to those goals and get to the red carpet, the Grammys, the Oscars. Like, pride has to be pushed aside, man.
Totally.
I totally agree to that.
You have to swallow it and drink water on it, and then go to the bathroom and get that thing out. Then you're ready. But the moment you let that pride linger in you, it's going to be a little bit hard.
Very.
Yeah.
Very hard. Some people are saying good advice. The people are commenting. They love you. They are commenting, sharing love. Yes, hellos.
I love them too.
So I know you said you are starting to work on the trailer. You can't give us too much for the next one, but what can we expect next from you in 2022?
So 2022, I always tell, one of my thing is we should always remember where we come from.
Yes.
We should not. So because I'm a Nigerian, so now I feel like after my first film now, FYI, Nigerian Film Festival, all the Nigerian Film Festival rejected the film. I'm not surprised. Yes, even though I'm Nigerian, and I feel like, wait, how can film festivals in Paris, in Italy, in Australia, of all places, in Melbourne, be accepting this film, and the Nigerian Film Festival wasn't accepting it? All my friends went, of course, they are not going to accept it. And I'm like, yeah, but this filmmaker is not going to stop, because now I'm going to be making more films about stories in Nigeria that people don't really tell. And I'm going to be talking more about like LGBTQ stories in Nigeria, and I'm going to talk about mental health, because growing up in Nigeria has a lot of toll on your mental health. Especially Nigerian parents. Here in the US or in Nigeria, it's even worse. So those are the kind of stories I want to tell. I want to tell more about asylum stories, immigration stories. People don't know that coming from a place to another place, you have a lot of demons that you have to bury, and have to bury them, because when you leave Nigeria to come to the US, first of all, bury all those demons from Nigeria, because you need a platform to now get into the US itself, because you got to make money, you got to get your shelter, food, you got to make yourself man, woman enough to be who you want to be. But then those demons you bury, what happened to them? So I always tell people, when you see an immigrant and you are thinking that they should be grateful because they are here, oh, you should be grateful, lucky for you, you are here, you have no idea what they are putting aside just to smile and just listen to you say all those words to them, because when they go to bed, those demons crawl out and
they get you.
Yes, and I want to talk more about all these kind of stories. So my projects coming up soon are going to be talking about all this kind of, and I'm very, very big on mental health, especially among we Black folks and African. When it gets to mental health, we don't take care of ourselves that much. We take care of other people around us.
Oh, always.
Yeah, that's how we grow up. That's how we're taught. Our families, our friends, we think more of them than we think about ourselves. But then we also need to understand that you can only give what you have. If you don't have it, you can't give it.
Give it.
Yes.
I love that you're giving a platform on these taboo topics that people don't want to talk about, that people are like, let's not talk about this. But you're like, no, we're going to bring it to light. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to realize how much in common we all have, because we're afraid to talk about these things for no reason.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see, the other work that you have to come out. And again, for people out there to see Unsaid and see the different visuals you're putting out, the different messages that you're putting out there, for people to realize, hey, don't be afraid. Let's share these words. Let's communicate. Let's share experiences. It can only make us stronger and closer. And also, like you said, fight those demons too.
Yeah, we have to. They never go away, but we can at least suppress them. But you can't suppress them if you keep hiding them. How do you control what you are hiding? It will end up controlling you. You know, it's not okay. No, it's okay until it's not okay. So, yeah.
There's limits.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to share with our audience? Any first-time filmmakers out there, fans of your work, or anything out there you want to let them know?
To people who have reached out and everyone who are still anticipating to see the film, I just want to say you need to see Unsaid. It's a good thing about Unsaid is everybody have one thing they end up liking, because it's like different poems, 5 different poems. It's either you relate with A or B, and I always tell people we all relate to the fact that we are different. And we should not be scared to be different, because our differences is what makes us all beautiful. If we all look alike, imagine you and I will look alike on this. There's no more fun. But now I'm looking at your beautiful face and I'm like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. That is, that's what we need to celebrate. We don't need to come for people because of their differences, which is what we do all the time. We don't need to be that guy who wants to, put somebody down because they are different from you or their views are different from yours. But we need to understand that is what makes the world go round. And that's one thing Unsaid is saying. So please try, and you can, when it's out, you can watch it. You can follow my Unsaid Instagram. It's Unsaid the film. Yeah, and you can check on my website and also my book if you want to read more about my experience and through poetry. So everything is in poetry, which a lot of people tell me I don't really like reading, but I like reading your book now because it's very simple and easy. I can just read one thing today and then another 1 month read another thing, and I'm like, well, yeah. So I think I have a book right here.
You show this.
So here. So what's in my head?
Nice.
So exactly.
Where can people purchase your book?
Oh, it's on Amazon. What's in my head? It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. It's on Walmart. Or you can just go to my website, which the link is in my bio. Yeah, you can get it from my website if you want me to send a signed copy too.
Oh wow! Well, you guys, where to check out what Ayo is doing next, to find out where you can see Unsaid, where you can see the cover. Yes, someone said the cover is beautiful. Agreed.
Oh, thank you.
Agreed. It's a beautiful cover. To definitely continue to support Ayo on his journey in the filmmaking career, in his poetry, just everything he has going on, because who knows what Ayo's up to next.
You will know soon. I'll let you know soon.
Please do.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, taking the time to speak with us, to share your journey, to share what you have going on. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you so much, TK. This is amazing. I woke up this morning. I feel I felt so important. I have this Instagram live going on, and then I'm going for a book reading in an hour. I'm like, I feel like my day is packed suddenly with things that I love doing. So thank you so much, and it's a beautiful thing that you're doing. Giving opportunity and using your platform to share the stories of different. Because I watch a lot of Instagram before. I'm like, let me see what is going on, so I don't come and make a fool of myself. So I watch a lot of, and I read them. Oh my God, you're really, really bringing different people. To give them your platform to talk about who they are and then showcase themselves more. Thank you so much for that. Love and light. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, I can't wait to do this again with you. Hopefully in person one of these days again.
I would love that.
Stay in touch.
I would love that. We should definitely stay in touch. Thank you. And thanks to everyone that joined the live. Really, really appreciate you all for taking your time. Thank you.
Yeah, they love you. So I'm sure they'll be following you right after this. All right. Have a great day.
You too. Enjoy your day. Bye.
Thank you.